What's going on, guys? KSI15 here, and welcome to today's video. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about something that has been on everybody's mind for the last few months, and that is the KSI versus Logan Paul Boxing Match. Now, at the time I'm recording this, the boxing match was actually yesterday. Hopefully, when this is uploaded, it was also yesterday, if not the day before. But I thought it was a pretty good match. Yes, I did watch it. Yes, I did pay for it. No, I don't want a refund, unlike everybody else. When everyone saw the final prediction, everyone was typing refund in the chat. It was just like, really? The fights were actually really good. All the undercards were amazing. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about each undercard, giving my thoughts and opinion. Was the match rigged? We'll see. We'll find out in the video. Let's begin with the first undercard. So the first undercard to kick off the whole event were two people, Hello Ham versus Drizzy Jeremy. And I thought they actually did really good. To say there was 21,000 people at the Manchester Arena and them two had to perform in front of all of them, I thought they did a pretty good job. Hello Ham was, in my opinion, the favourite because he was a bit more heavy. I think he was 50 pounds heavier. It did go for him. I thought they both did unbelievably well. For the opening fight of the event, I thought they did well. Both put on a good show, but that was the first match. So the second fight of the evening was Momo against Rossi HD. What can I say about this? It was a little bit cringy to watch. From what the commentators were saying, by commentator I mean True Jordy and Joe Weller, apparently Momo only had about 7 days actually training experience, while Rossi was taking it so much more serious than him. But it's like they got into the ring, yeah, they looked like they were actually going to have a proper fight, but then Momo started doing Fortnite dances, and it was just cringy. Can't tell if he was just doing it for the entertainment purposes, or he was doing it to put Rossi HD off, but it did seem to work. They both actually landed a quite good few punches, and to say again, 21,000 people watching you two fight, it's got to be a bit nerve-wracking. But in my opinion, apart from it being a little bit cringy, they both put in a good work effort, they both had a few good punches, and it was a bit more entertaining than the last fight. 1 minute they were taking it serious, the next minute they were dancing, and then they took it serious, and then they had their backs to each other dancing to everyone. It was an interesting fight. Yeah, it was interesting. Let's call it interesting. It was interesting. The third fight of the evening was JMX versus Coach Richard. Now, I had JMX to win this just because I watched the last fight he did in February when it was the KSI versus Joe Weller fight, and he performed unbelievably well, to say they only had one arm really working at the time. But JMX was favourite. I think he was taller, he weighed more, he had a longer reach. I think the only thing he didn't beat him in was his age. And when I saw the card that he was only 20 years old, that's the same age as me. And he's like double my size, double my weight, if not triple my weight. And he's got like 5 times a longer reach than me. It did also seem that JMX was on his toes a bit more. He was like jumping around a little bit more. While Coach Richard was just stood there flat, just waiting to see what he was going to do. And I think that's won it for JMX. He was on his toes, he was unpredictable, and it was again a pretty entertaining fight. It was a bit more serious than the last two, but it was still a good third fight. The fourth fight of the evening was for FaZe Sensei versus PJ Overtsflow. And you could tell that these two had a lot more experience than everybody else. I was backing FaZe Sensei, but that's just because I've seen a lot more of his videos. I wasn't really familiar with PJ Overflow. They both put in a really good effort. They were both about the same height, both about the same weight. I think PJ had a little bit longer reach. I think it was 1 inch or something like that. 1 inch could add up in the end. It did seem like that FaZe Sensei was just dodging more punches, like he was just moving back and back and back. And then when he got tired, he was doing a big punch. And it did end up, I think, wearing PJ down a little bit. But again, it was a really good match. The fifth undercard was a very interesting one. Raka Raka against Scarce. Now this, I had down to be one of my favourite fights. Both the Raka Raka guys run an unbelievable channel. If you haven't checked it out, I will leave a link, if I can remember, to all of these guys' channel in the description. I would highly recommend Raka Raka's videos. The editing that they do and videos are unbelievable. Scarce is also a good channel. He does more of a drama channel, a bit like Drama Alert Keemstar. Going into the fight, Scarce was taller, he weighed more, and he had a longer reach, was therefore making him, I suppose, the favourite, although I was backing Raka Raka. It was an unbelievable fight. As soon as that bell rang, Raka Raka just went all out. Literally, in 10 seconds, Raka Raka must have put out at least 100 punches. Goodness knows how Scarce didn't go down. Fair play to Scarce, he literally just stood there and took every single shot and did not go down. I mean, unbelievable fight. One of my favourite of the evening. The final undercard was with a Nissan Gibb against Jay Swingler. Now, I knew that this was going to be a very, very good fight. I saw Anisong Gibb perform last time in February against Max, and pretty much Max got destroyed in the nicest way possible. Anisong Gibb was just the bigger guy there. But yeah, you could literally tell from seeing the card, it was going to be a good fight. Anisong Gibb was training with KSI's trainer, which was Vidal. And at the moment, Vidal had already won 1 out of 3 fights with JMX, and he was going for the second fight. I had Gibb to win this, but saying that, Jay, we didn't see really any of his training technique at all. He kept it very, very quiet. All that we really knew was he runs the TGF channel with Ramel, and they're known for hurting themselves and doing crazy, crazy stunts. Did that put an impact into this fight? Getting punched loads of time, did that help? I think it did. It was a good fight though. They both went at each other, none of them gave up, and they were just pummeling each other with punches over and over and over again. I'm surprised there wasn't a knockout in this event, but final undercard was incredible. If you have to watch any of them, I'd say this one, 100% watch it. But now we get into the 2 main events. So the first fighters for the main event was Deji versus Jake Paul. Now, statistics alone, Jake Paul was favourite to win. He was taller, he weighed more, and he had a longer reach. He was definitely the favourite for this fight. Also seen in training videos, Jake Paul seemed to take it a lot more serious than Deji. Whenever Deji was training, he seemed to get punched once and then go down and literally cower in the corner. In my opinion, I thought it was going to be a complete whitewash. The first round or second round, I thought Deji was just going to get knocked out, like, just lose so quickly. I thought it was going to be such a quick round. But was it surprising? It was very, very surprising. I wanted Deji to win in this event, but I was thinking Jake Paul's gonna win because he looks more serious. Literally within the first round, Deji delivered a huge punch, leaving Jake Paul with like a busted nose for literally the whole event. Every single round, Jake seemed to have blood all over his face. And as soon as I saw that there was blood, I was like, Deji could win this. It was a very unpredictable match. Everyone had Jake Paul to be like this level, Deji to be like here, but frankly, they were both literally neck and neck. It was unbelievable. I think the only thing that let it down for Deji was there was 6th round, and you could see by the 4th round, he was getting very, very tired. And spoilers, Deji's trainer did unfortunately throw in the towel, but it looked like that Jake was going to get a knockout if it was going on for much longer. But much respect for Jake and Deji. Deji did unbelievably well, like I've already said. But yeah, after that, it was time for the main event. KSI versus Logan Paul. The main event, the one that everyone was waiting for. KSI versus Logan Paul. 5 hours of watching the live stream for this event. And I was so excited. On the statistics, Logan Paul was favourite. He was taller, he weighed more, and he had the longer reach. I myself was backing at KSI. Huge fan of KSI and the Sidemen. Not really a fan of Logan Paul because what happened with the Forest, but either way, if you were team KSI and Deji or Jake Paul and Logan Paul, you're going to admit all 4 of them have done incredibly well to get such high numbers, to get millions and millions of subscribers in only a couple of years. They've done incredibly well, and now putting on an event in the Manchester Arena, a boxing match for everyone to see. It's incredible. Now, I will say spoilers because I will be talking a bit about it. So you have been warned. You got 3 seconds to leave. Okay, you should have left by now. But yeah, it started off, Logan was definitely, in my opinion, in the advantage. First 2 rounds looked like Logan was all over JJ. I was like, KSI is going to lose. He's not going to win this. Logan's going to like end up destroying him. Logan had the longer reach, and it was just the one punch after another. And it was a bit like what it was in February. In February, KSI was delivering a lot more punches and Joe just stood there and took everything. And it was like that this time. Logan was doing a lot more punches and KSI just stood there. And they were both seemed to be smiling quite a bit, which was a bit strange to be honest. But in my opinion, I think this was all part of KSI's plan. Because come the 3rd round, you could see that Logan was starting to breathe heavier. And KSI did seem a lot more on his feet, bouncing up and down, waiting for the punches. He seemed a lot more with it. A bit like it was his plan to tire him down. In the 3rd round, I did say KSI did come back a bit more, delivering a lot more heavier punches, knocking Logan back a little bit. Come the 4th round, KSI was still on his feet, delivering hefty punches. Logan Paul was now, you could see him getting tired. He was taking a lot more hits now, and he was like, okay, I need to do something or else I'm going to end up getting knocked out or something. However, Then in the 5th round, it looked like Logan came at him with everything he got. Towards the end of the round, he must have delivered about 20 punches and they all landed in the head. It was like 1, 2, bang, bang, bang. It was so many punches in such short time. I thought, that's going to swing it for Logan. Logan is going to get it because of that. He did so many punches, landed so many. You could tell that KSI was caught off guard a lot for it. But then in the 6th round and the final round, KSI kind of delivered the same treatment back. He then delivered about 20 punches in Logan's head again, and you could tell Logan was feeling it. You could tell he was not with it anymore. And in my opinion, if there was a 7th round or even an 8th round, I think Logan would have got knocked out. Again, my opinion from watching it, you could see that Logan was a bit dazed. He wasn't really with it after that point. But either way, the bell went, and as many of you know, it was a draw. Am I upset with the draw? A little bit, you know. It's not as exciting as having a winner and having a loser. But with it being a draw, it means that there is going to be a rematch. However, I did find this little bit of information that does say each fighter can opt out of having a rematch. This was posted 6 months ago. So does that mean a rematch was planned? There was planned to having a draw? Was it fixed? We don't know. We may never know. But either way, I thought it was a very entertaining fight. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Did you watch the event? Did you pay for it? Do you want your money back? Who did you want to win? Who were your favourite undercards? A lot of different questions I could ask, to be honest. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on it. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I'll leave a link to all the YouTubers that took part in this down below in the description. So make sure you check them out. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.